All right, all right, all right. The year is 2023. We're right at the end of it. And usually this is the time where we get your year-end wrap-up list, best of, worst of, movies, games, music. I decided to hop in on that, and we gonna do this my way. We're not gonna do a best of. We're not gonna do a worst of. We just gonna do games that existed in my 2023. This is not a list of the best of or the worst of. It is simply games that existed in my 2023. I did a lot of gaming this year. I played a lot of great games that I didn't finish. And I played quite a few games that I did finish. They all lived simultaneously. They all filled my time. They all gave me something to do. So even if the worst game was around, I basically give the same credit to the worst game and the same credit to the best game I had this year. So we're going to throw them all in one. Games that existed in my 2023. Now, before we get started into this, most videos, they go into the sponsors, and we're going to talk about who made this video possible for today. But zero sponsors, no scrubs. We ain't got no sponsors. We're looking, we're divulging. Hit the email to this channel, to this page, the DMs. I'm definitely taking sponsors, but right now, zero sponsors, no scrubs. With that said, we're going to take some time to talk about who made this video possible, and that's me. And I got an album dropping at the top of 2024. And it's called Cozy and Confused, all produced by me. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be about 6, 7 joints. All interconnected, twined, different sounds. I'm playing with some new things. It's gonna be I'm gonna drop a little single probably in the next day or two. But look, on the first day of the year, this will be out. Cozy and Confused. It'll be on my Bandcamp. Showyoussuck.bandcamp.com. Y'all know, I know how it go. Now, we're gonna dive deep into games that existed in my 2023. And we're going to start this off with Xbox. The systems I'm working with currently right now are the Xbox One X, the PS4 and the PS5, and the Nintendo Switch. So pay no attention to what I got things placed on there right now. Pay no attention to these placed right now. I was just joshing. We'll pull these off. We're gonna pull those down, and we're gonna start here at the box. And let's see. The first game we're gonna talk about. Since I got it here, Sea of Stars. Played quite a bit of Sea of Stars when it dropped at launch on Game Pass. For those who don't know, Sea of Stars, it's a RPG. I guess a traditional RPG in some sense. Very reminiscent of your Chrono Triggers. Mario RPG, Paper Mario, but very much borrows from the 16-bit classic aesthetic. I believe the composer who did Chrono Trigger did the music for this one, but I could be wrong on that. If I'm wrong, someone correct me. But I had a pretty good time. What prepped me for this game was that I played about 3 hours of Paper Mario. And if you don't know, Paper Mario is turn-based, much like Sea of Stars. But the difference with Paper Mario is that the hits have a button pressing component. So like when you attack an enemy, you just use a regular attack. You can also you also have you call it not a quick time, but there's a button press icon that goes with the attack that'll add additional points. So it is turn-based, but there's also somewhat of a action element to it that kind of keeps the action going. And Sea of Stars adopted that, and to me, um, that was the main thing that had me locked in. The story was cool. Do I remember anything from it? Not at all. I guess I also add that I didn't finish this game. I did not finish Sea of Stars. I did 5 or 6 hours. I did 5 or 6 hours. I enjoyed everything. I'm going to go back to it and eventually finish it, I think. But up until the time of me recording this, I only got 5 or 6 hours in. But I did start at launch, and I found it to be delightful. I absolutely recommend it. I got a homie who went all the way through, who did the whole thing. Yeah, shout out to Sea of Stars, man. I definitely recommend picking it up if that's your thing. But let's go ahead and keep it in Xbox. And we're going to talk about this next game that came for free through Games for Gold, and that's Inertial Drive. Inertial Drive is a throwback to arcade racers, which is one of my favorite genres. It might be like my second favorite genre, right up under shooters. Is arcade racers, and that's what Inertial Drive comes back to. It has a shell shaded. Actually, it has. I feel like this game is a spiritual successor to another game. Hold on, let me see if I can. Give me 1 second here. We're gonna try to figure something out. Here, because I want to see if Inertial Drive is a spiritual successor to another game. It was a shell shaded game. Cell shaded racing game on a PS2. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I did find it. Okay, so the game that Inertial Drive reminds me of is Auto Modelista. That was out on the PS2 era, cell shaded. The difference in Inertial Drive is that your steering control actually starts off on the right thumbstick, and your left thumbstick, what is traditionally used to steer the car, is your drifting. That's your drifting mechanic. So the game is built for you to just basically drift your way through everything, and you treat your drifting like you're steering. Now, I played about 2 hours of this game, not realizing this was the mechanic. So I could not steer properly to save my life, and I still had a blast. So I wasn't even playing the game right, and I still had a really good time. The shell shading is really awesome. The use of color is great, but more than that, the music is so good in this game. Tons of drum and bass, really chill, jazzy, not quite to the level of like Ridge Racer jazz drum and bass and jungle, but right a notch under that. Really good, really good music. Like I said, that was another one that was on Games for Gold at some point during the course of the year, but it's not there anymore. You're gonna have to pay for it. I don't know how much it is, but I do recommend it. It's a really good game. Inertial Drive, great time. Let's see what else we got here. What did I play a lot? Since we're here, let's throw it up. One of my favorite games of all time, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Now, this one, I've played this game a million times, over and over again, 100%ed it. This would be my first time running through it on the Xbox 360. I don't really notice any differences. If there is, please comment below. I don't see any differences in this run through or in any other run through I've ever had. But but nonetheless, it's one of my favorite games of all time, and I played the heck out of it. So that was one of them. Moving along, we're gonna throw this big baddie up here. Play this game at launch. Starfield. I know there's a lot of controversial views on this game. From the first week of me playing it, I kind of enjoyed it, and I'm not really a Bethesda game person. I'm not a Fallout person. I thought Elder Scrolls is kind of cool. To me, all those games have too much micromanagement. This one is not an exception to that. I just chose not to do any of the micromanagement, which probably affected my game quite a bit. But I had a lot of fun making a character, which I normally don't do. I had a great time putting your ship together. I thought it was really cool. The first initial missions I had were interesting. One thing I did do what I thought was really interesting was I was on one planet and I went kind of ham and shot a bunch of people completely unwarranted, and I became wanted on that planet. Now I left that planet and went to a whole different system of planets, and I ended up getting a job where I was a basically like galactic policeman, or like a galactic mercenary, but we only get paid to go do good things. It's not like a mercenary in the sense where like someone's going to pay you to go like knock someone off or steal something. We're basically like I guess it's not like a mercenary. We're like hired help for law enforcement. And my first mission was actually to go back to the planet where I killed all those people and helped and fled. And my mission was to go there and help someone. And I was like, oh wow, this is really interesting. I wonder if I'm going to go back to this planet. And they realized that I was the person who did cause all that chaos, and I would have to suffer those consequences. But when I got to the planet, they forgot that it happened. So that was kind of a bummer. At that point, I decided to stop playing the game because that kind of broke the immersion quite a bit. But all in all, I thought Starfield was fine. It's already generally not my type of game, but for it being on, once again, when it being on Game Pass, I wasn't going to not give it a go. If this was a game that had to be my only game, I would have a great time with it. So there you have it, Starfield. I'm gonna keep it going with Xbox. Yeah, we got a lot of Xbox picks up here. I guess according to Xbox, before I go into the next game, according to them, looking at my 2023 wrap-up highlights, I spent 419 hours gaming. I don't know where that stacks up to anyone else. I was very surprised at that. And also, it told me that I played 166 different games this year. I didn't finish 166 different games, but I did play 166 different games. And actually, I do believe that, because I play a lot of games. I try a lot of stuff. Let's move on. Our next pick, we're going to go ahead and talk about El Paso Elsewhere. What a treat. Happy to move into something indie. Well, you know, I think my first two games I talked about were indie, so, but nonetheless, love talking about an indie title, El Paso Elsewhere. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I'm on my second playthrough right now. It is very much reminiscent of Max Payne, the Max Payne series. And interesting enough, I am not a fan of that series. I've tried every game. Wait a minute, say every. I tried 1 and 2. I have not played 3 yet. I will. Actually, I'm going to buy 3 for the 360 and try that out, because it looks kind of good. But 1 and 2, I never ever cared for whatsoever. But I stumbled upon actually, let me get some names right here. I stumbled upon the person who developed this game through another game developer um, who put together a game I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But on Twitter, I found this person on Twitter and just saw how passionate they were about their game. And it is El Paso Elsewhere. And wanted to see a creator of color take influence from Max Payne and put that into their game. I was already kind of sold on and curious. But I picked it up for the low. It's not expensive. Started it on a Friday night and had a blast. The music's cool. It's hella eerie. I'm not going to talk about the story because I don't know what's spoiler territory or not. But if you're a fan of an action shooter, hella creepy, try out El Paso Elsewhere. Like I said, I'm on my second playthrough. It's a great mood setter. The action don't stop. And you feel the indie love. I think that's the cool part. It's not a AAA. Not a huge production, but it's so effective, and you definitely feel the care. And even not use the word love in this case, you really feel the care and intention in this game. So support indie, especially creators of color. Grab El Paso Elsewhere. We're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it busting. Once again, to remind you all, you are watching a video that is games that existed in my 2023. And since we just talked about El Paso Elsewhere, and we're talking about indie developers of color, we're gonna move into Treachery and Beatdown City. Now, this was a game that I was playing. Wow, I think it's been like 3 years. 3 years ago, I started playing this game. But it was strictly on the Switch and Steam. And I started it on the Switch. The creator of this game reached out to me. And full disclosure, been a homie of mine for I guess damn near almost 10 years now, from supporting my music and coming out to shows. The band I'm in, Air Credits, did a remix for this game. There's a song that has Mega Ran and Open Mike Eagle on it, and we were lucky enough to do the remix of it. I was also involved in another song for this project, so I've been involved in this project, full disclosure, but still, no sponsors, no scrubs. No one sponsored this video. I'm talking about stuff that I like, stuff that I feel like. I'm also going to talk about stuff that I don't like, but I'm talking about stuff that was in my possession. Treachery and Beatdown City is a very, very unique game. It's a turn-based RPG. Turn-based RPG beat 'em up. Both of those genres are intertwined and mixed up. What's cool about this game is that the setting of it is very reminiscent of a Streets of Rage. You're roaming the streets, beating up folks, but it is turn-based combat, also mixed with a beat 'em up. So you can do attacks on an enemy in regular beat 'em up style without going into a turn-based factor, but you can mix those factors up. It's super unique. I never ever played a game like this. I have not beat it yet, even though I've had it in my possession for a long time. It made it onto the Xbox this year, so naturally I will support bruh on all systems. I went and grabbed it on Xbox as well, and basically started my game over with a better understanding of it this time as well. And there was also an update that went with the game that launched on the Xbox, so with some new mechanics and such. But it's not. It felt more. The system felt more overwhelming the first time I played it, and coming back again, starting it on the Xbox. That's when the game really clicked for me, and I super enjoy it. Never had a gaming experience like this before, so I encourage everyone to go check out Treachery and Beatdown City. Fantastic game, really cool experience. And let me also say this: the the pixel, um, the pixel art in it is banging. The music in it is banging, and also the writing in it is banging. It's actually really funny. It's a really, really funny game. Yeah, Treachery and Beatdown City. Go check that out. Moving along, we're gonna keep it in Xbox, and we're going to talk about. This is the first fighting game of this bunch. I just started this game this year, Killer Instinct. This version of Killer Instinct was put together by Iron Galaxy Studios, which is based here in Chicago. Shout out to Iron Galaxy. Some new updates launched with this year with Killer Instinct, and that's what brought me. That's what really brought me to it. The fact that they relaunched some things. As an old fan of Killer Instinct, from the arcade to the Super Nintendo and to Killer Instinct Gold on a 64, which is like my all-time favorite. This series had always had my favorite combo system ever created. And it's, let me see if I can pull it up. Because the combo system on this game, on the original Killer Instinct, really did something for me here. And I just want to see if I can pull up the combo tree. Let's see if I can pull up the combo tree here, and if I can't, we'll just move on. It's the Ottawa. Ooh, here it is. I did find it cool. Okay, so this is the combo chart here. This was the original combo chart from Killer Instinct, and this is why I was so into it, because it's basically kind of infinite. As you can see, you can start with the hardest punch and the medium, and it goes to the quick, and then you can zip around and then to the strongest kick and go that way, and then zip back into this kick, and it branches in so many different ways, and it was really fun playing with that. Now, and I say all that to say this was my favorite thing about Killer Instinct. So, getting in to this new Killer Instinct made by Iron Galaxy, I was really excited to get into a game where I had the assumption that I already knew how to play. And then I get into the game, and it's not the same combo system. And I was a little worried at first, but I took some time, and I actually did the training, which I don't normally do. I did the training, and I think I started about 2 days ago, and now I'm so into this combo system. They really made something special, something different from the original series, but something I'm really enjoying now, man. I'm having a great time with it, and I'm still learning. I even been hopping online. I've been grabbing some wins online, but I am not perfect right now with the system. Right now, I'm dipping between Orchid and TJ Combo in terms of mains. I used to be a Kim Woo main, I guess you can say, back in the Killer KI Gold days. But right now we're going TJ Combo and Orchid, and I'm really having a great time with this game. I believe I don't know if I got this game through Gold or Game Pass, or if it's just free to play. I know it's one of those three. So, but I didn't pay any money to play this game, and I assume that you don't either. If you have at least Game Pass, I think it's on Game Pass. So, go play KI. It is a phenomenal game. And I think while we're on the topic of KI, more so while we're on the topic of Iron Galaxy, I want to talk about another game that I kind of forgot to put into the list. We're gonna we're gonna make some edits on the fly. But one game I do want to talk about and add into the list here. Hold on. Let me do some work on the fly here. Is one of it's gonna sound like a big statement, but I'm gonna say one of my favorite gaming experiences of all time came this year, and it was through the game Rumbleverse. Well, see, here's the thing. I can put Rumbleverse up on Xbox. I am gonna put it up on Xbox right now. I don't know why it won't let me slap it up here. Boom, there we go. But I also played this game on PlayStation, on PS4. I did also play it on PS4. So, but Rumbleverse was a free to play multiplayer. It was like 100 people in a match, and you're all wrestlers, and basically it's Fortnite style where you got to be the last one standing, and it's all wrestling moves, no guns. And boy, oh boy, was Rumbleverse a fantastic time. Me and the homies used to drop in, run amok. Even by myself, I had a great time. And unfortunately, Rumbleverse got shut down this year. Same year release, it got shut down. Not because it wasn't great. Companies happen, business happens, and things happen like that all the time. But boy, I missed that game so much. That was a great time, great time. So shout out to everyone at Iron Galaxy who put in the work for Rumbleverse and KI. I've been enjoying both of those games this year, so hats off to y'all. Let's keep it moving. And I'm going to stay in Xbox. This is crazy. Next one up, let's talk about Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush dropped this year, and they what they call it a shadow drop. It was announced. I don't know if it was the summer indie game showcase, but it got announced, and as soon as it got announced, it was available. Especially if you had Game Pass, and I went same day that night, downloaded it, and was blown away from minute one to the very last minute. I come back to this game ever so often and just play little bits of it. I'm not like trooping to finish it for the second time. I do want to finish it for the second time, but I'm really taking my time savoring it. But Hi-Fi Rush is a Saturday morning cartoon mixed with action platformer rhythm game. And boy, oh boy, it's awesome. It looks great. The characters, the voice acting, the writing, all top notch. This is a 10 out of 10 game. This was a game I played, and there's a critique that I give that sounds very vague, but to me, it really nails it on the head. It feels like a video game. And what I mean by that is some games like Uncharted, like a Tomb Raider, even like a Ratchet and Clank, even the Spider-Man, right? All those games to me, they're video games in a literal sense, but they feel way more cinematic, which is not a bad thing, which is a great thing. They all feel worth it. Those are all top tier games. My favorite franchise of all time is Uncharted, just saying, but those games feel way more cinematic. And I think a theme of the year was that I got roped up in a lot of games that are just very cinematic, which is its own thing. But it was so nice to play Hi-Fi Rush, and it felt like I went to Blockbuster and rented it and brought it home, and was just having a great time. It gets you right in. You don't sit around a lot, and it's meaningful. And it feels like I'm playing a cartoon that was coming on ABC the next morning on a Saturday morning. I want more of these characters. I want the whole world. I want a movie. I want everything from Hi-Fi Rush. If you put Hi-Fi Rush on it, I'll buy it. It's that great. Please try this game. Please try this game. It's phenomenal. All right, let's keep it moving. This one here was a huge surprise for me this year. Escape from Dead Island. I think that's what it's called. A Xbox 360 game. This one is an offspring of the Dead Island series, which I played Dead Island 1 for the first time this year, only for a little bit, and I thought it was fine. I was not captivated by it. But however, Escape from Dead Island, which is made in a different art style, it's a completely different style of game from the main series. This one is animated. I believe it's cell shaded. Don't quote me on that. But it's not a complicated game. It feels like a Xbox 360 era game. And that's what I like the most about it. I got 10 hours into it, and I don't necessarily know if I'm going to finish it. I don't love it that much, but I enjoyed the bulk of my time with it. It's paced well. It's paced really well. So if you're into zombies, looting, and cheesy dialogue, hey, Escape from Dead Island, hit it. I picked it up for like $3. There was a night where Microsoft was running a sale on Xbox 360 games, and like I got everything that was like $3 and under, and this was one of them. So it was a good pickup. I'm having a great time. I had a good time with it. I eventually come back to it. I'm not in a rush to finish it though. It's not one of those. This bad boy. Now, the next game we're going to talk about is still on Xbox. Guardian Heroes. Now, this game originally released on the Sega Saturn, whatever year that was. Was it like 98? I think it was like 98. And I had a Saturn, and I rented this game, and I remember liking it, and that's really it. I don't remember much more than that. I damn sure didn't finish it, and I never played it co-op. I never did 2-player on it, but I remember liking it. Nothing I used to scream to the rooftop about, but I remember liking it. And just like the sale I was just talking about, I bought this game in that sale too. So I got this game for $2, $2.99. I got it for $2.99, and I play it. And Guardian Heroes is basically a fighting game masked as a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up. And what I mean by that is most beat 'em ups, Streets of Rage, Final Fight, they're pretty dry cut forward, right? You got a couple of buttons. That's usually like an attack, like a punch, kick, and a jump, or attack 1, attack 2, jump. And your special is, in terms of special moves, probably the most it'll be is if you double tap forward and attack. That'll move. That'll make a special move. What's different in Guardian Heroes is that the special moves are very, not very, but there's the same as commands for special moves in games like Street Fighter or Fatal Fury. So you have legit fighting game movements in a beat 'em up, and the variety of a fighting game in terms of moves. So all these, the game is stacked with characters. That's one. There's a ton of characters, and they all have different special moves. Now, the cool part is when you're in a multiple party of multiple characters, different characters, you all have different attributes, and then your special moves link together. So if you have one character that's really good at wind, that has wind special moves, and another character that has electric or electricity in their moves, and you can throw a tornado with one character, and an enemy will go up, and the other one you throw a projectile, and it'll mesh with the tornado. Basically, the special moves connect depending on who you have, and those create different effects. And you have a combo system, and I am a sucker for a high number combo system. So you can get really high numbers in this game with the right combinations of characters together. So some are regarded as a classic. I don't know how expensive it is to get a physical copy of this game for the Saturn, but I'd imagine it's really expensive. But you can get this game on the Xbox 360 for less than $10, and I highly recommend it. I cannot wait to play this game with someone. It's online, and I have not delved into online yet because I don't really do that unless I know you. But I really want to play this game online with some friends because Guardian Heroes, wow, super slept on. It's really slept on in a sense, even though I think this game is really expensive, but it's definitely slept on because enough people do not talk about this system. A whole lot of fun. We gon' keep it moving. All right. This next one is also an Xbox release, but I don't have any room over here anymore, so we're just gonna throw it here. Skate 3. In my top 5 games for all time. I've been playing this game since it released, and oh my god, I don't know how long. I'm pretty sure this game is like 12, 13 years old, and I've been playing it since then because I used to work at Zoomies, and when this game came out, every store got sent an Xbox and a copy of this game. So since from day one, I've been playing this game nonstop. It's a game that's always been a part of my life, so I don't even need to review on it. I recommend everyone play Skate 3. They actually did some updates to it this year. And they brought the online community back this year. That's the big ticker. So I've been playing this game the whole time without the online community, but the servers are back up and it is active as ever. And it's an amazing game. I personally do not feel like we need a Skate 4. They're working on it. I'll take it, but I don't need that. I hope they always keep Skate 3 alive, and I'll probably do a bigger video on this game later, but yada yada yada. Now that we're in PlayStation, let's talk about a heavy hitter. Street Fighter 6. Man, wow. What a crazy, all-encompassing game. Great characters. First and foremost, I will say, I'm a Minnow main. I'm very prideful of that. Great system. They basically built in a final fight game into it with a whole new world mode. I mean, Street Fighter 6 is like, I don't want to call it perfect, but it's damn near perfect. It's definitely worth $70-$80 with all the content that's in it. It's definitely worth it. The online community is great. Tons of features. The training is great. I feel like it's well balanced. Street Fighter 6. Moving along. Just trying to remember what I want to talk about next. Since we're in fighting, let's keep it in fighting. KOF 15. This is one that my homies were super crazy about. They're really into the KOF lore and the whole series. I am not so much. Not because I don't like it. It's just I don't know everything. So KOF isn't always on the top of my mind. I started at King of Fighters 95 on the PlayStation. Loved that game. It didn't really follow it after that. I came back to KOF 13 because we got that for free on Games Through Gold on Xbox. So I was playing that for a while, and this one dropped, and my friends were on it day one. It took me a little while. It was like a few months, and then it went on sale. Then I went on ahead and hopped in, and I think it's a great game. I definitely have not touched it in a while. I don't even know if my friends even touched it in a while. That's one thing I'm kind of, I wish I didn't hop all in, but I'm gonna come on back to it eventually. But that's one of my games that existed in my 2023. It ain't one of my favorites, and I don't even touch it now. I don't even think I got it loaded up, but I played it this year. Next up on the list. We keep it in PlayStation. We in the PlayStation lane. Let's take it to another indie, a game that I didn't know anything about. I didn't. Usually, I see games on whether it's IGN or a friend tells me about them, then I watch a video about it, or I just come across it online. This is one where I was just in the PlayStation store, and I think I was actually online with my friend Mike, and we're both browsing the store together, and came across Thunder Ray. And Thunder Ray is basically a Punch Out or Super Punch Out inspired game. Amazing animation, very cool characters, and the music is cool. The sound design is sick. While I'm talking about this, I'm sure you'll see some scenes of it up on the screen. But I really recommend playing this game. It's a great Friday night, Saturday night. Get some snacks. Treat it like you rented it from the store. It is a great time. Great sound design. Play it loud. It is very difficult, but the animations are cool, so it's very rewarding in that sense. So check out Thunder Ray. You can get it for the low. Cool little indie game. Speaking of games that I got put on to through other means, I can't even remember what YouTuber it was, but I was watching a YouTube video, and someone mentioned how they were addicted to this game, and that caught my ear. It's like, give me a piece of that. So I looked it up, and I downloaded it first on the Xbox, and I played it on the Xbox, and there weren't any buttons. And what I mean by that was I'm playing this game, and it's a top-down twin stick shooter is how I explain it off the top of my head. But here's the funny part. There's no twin stick action. All there is the movement. All you do is move, and it auto attacks. So the face buttons don't do anything. I'm thinking the game's broken and it doesn't work. So I leave it off. I leave it off the Xbox, and I download it on PlayStation, and I play it there. And then I realize, like, oh, this game doesn't have any buttons, and you just move around and it auto attacks. And 6 hours later, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This game's awesome. This would be a great mobile game. They should make this a mobile game. And of course, I go look at my phone, and I see, oh, wow, this is a mobile game. I download it, and Zombie Survivor is going to be part of my life forever. This game rules. It's super simple, and it's pretty damn addictive. Keeping it moving. Another one I played day one. It came to Game Pass on Xbox. I started playing this game on Xbox. I know we're in the PlayStation area, but I started this game on Xbox because of Game Pass, and from there I put 20 hours into it. It is what they call a boomer shooter, and that's probably my favorite genre of game, boomer shooter. And for those who don't know, those are games that come from the light of Doom, original Doom, not the Doom that's on, not y'all current Doom. I'm talking original MS-DOS computer Doom. It's very reminiscent of that. Doom, Duke Nukem, Wolfenstein 3D. Proteus comes from that cloth. It has tons of graphical settings. You can bring the graphic quality down, graphic quality up, put tons of filters on it. There's so many different effects you can do with the graphics. It really keeps the game alive, just making it look different all the time. And it's the only boomer shooter I've played, and I played a lot of them, that you really feel the effect of the gun kick, especially. And this is what I'm gonna say. I started this game on Xbox, and I moved to PlayStation because of one factor, and one factor alone, and that's the haptic feedback feature that's on PlayStation. That is the one feature that, for me, puts this system over Xbox. If you can play a game on both systems And I almost will always tell you to just play it on PS5 because of the haptic feedback. And I like shooting games on Xbox more because you have the trigger as opposed to the shoulder button, and it feels a lot better. But the haptic feedback is unbeatable, and Proteus is really like a showcase of that. It's a very simple game on the surface, but just that haptic feedback added into when you shoot things is like it brings experiences way up. So I highly recommend Proteus for those who are fans of Doom, Duke Nukem, Wolfenstein 3D. Grab it. It is a great time. I'm playing through this game again. I've bought it on all three systems. It's available on Xbox, PS5, and the Switch. I own it on all three, and I plan on playing this game for the rest of my life. Moving along. Spider-Man, Miles Morales. What can I say that has not been said about this game? I don't want to use the word perfect, but the length is perfect. I know people complain that it's short. I like that. The length is perfect. The pacing was perfect. The moving around, they got transversal, perfect. Sound design, perfect. Voice acting, really good. The suits, though, did not care for the suits. Did not care for the extra suits. That's the one reason why I did not 100% this game. I did not care for the extra suits. But I feel like that problem got switched in Spider-Man 2. I have not played that yet. I will be playing that game going into next year. Very excited about it. But Miles Morales, ooh, what a great time. Oh, I can add more to the top, huh? I didn't know I could add more to the Xbox. Let me just fix that while we're here. We can get this right. Boom, we're fixed. We're good. Keeping it moving. The Callisto Protocol. Now, for those who don't know, this is a survival horror game. What is it called? The spiritual successor to Dead Space, made by the team that made Dead Space. I am a massive Dead Space fan, so when I heard about Callisto Protocol, my ears perked up real good. This game got a lot of hate when it first came out for being mediocre, and I know there was some performance issues with it too. I didn't play it at launch. I didn't play this game until maybe a month ago, and it's one of my games of the year, hands down. Not just a game that existed in my 2023. Callisto Protocol is one of my favorite games this year. It is so much fun. The combat to me was not repetitive. I do not agree with those reviewers whatsoever. The atmosphere is amazing. The graphics, wow. Everything looks wet and nasty. Wet, sticky, nasty. The story's cool. The main protagonist, I'm not super crazy about, but that never matters anyway because I don't care. But the lighting in this game is top notch. I'm like, I got 10, I'm 90% done with the game, and I got a little nugget left, and I've just been savoring it. I really like the game, and I will say that I did start the Dead Space remake, and being 2.5 hours into it, I gotta say, I'm not that into it. I'm gonna pick Callisto Protocol over the Dead Space remake. I don't even think I'm gonna finish the Dead Space remake. I don't think it's that good. I think it looked good. I think it looks good. But it's just missing a certain, you know what I mean? I don't know. I can be wrong. I'm gonna come back to it. Maybe I'll make a video about that. I don't know. Let's move on. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I also did play that on the PlayStation for like a handful of minutes. I own it on everything that's possible to own it on. So whatever. Cyberpunk 2077. I originally bought this game. Was it 3 years ago now? A little bit after the disastrous launch. And I was on, I think it was on Target. Target ran a flash sale, and they had copies of Cyberpunk for $10. So even though the game was a disaster, I ordered a copy. I ordered a PlayStation copy for $10, and when I received my mail, I received two copies. I received an Xbox copy and a PlayStation copy of the game for $10. So I had it since then. And truth be told, when I started the game a couple of months after the launch, I started on PlayStation base level PS4, not PS4 Pro. I played the game and I was having fun. I was having fun. I didn't experience a lot of bugs until I did. So I got probably like 4 or 5 hours into the game until I experienced a game breaking bug. And I use that as a marker as to stop, and I'll come back to when they finally fix the game and get in a workable condition. And this year they did it. Coinciding with that, this was the year I got a PS5. Henceforth, that's why PS4 and PS5 is listed here, because I didn't get a PS5 until the summer of this year, I believe. So there you have it. I started Cyberpunk. I started Cyberpunk maybe a week before the 2.0 update. So I got to experience a little bit before the big update. But once that big update hit, this is one of the best games of all time. I've never had an experience like this. And you know what? I will say I have not played a lot of like Deus Ex. I haven't played all through The Witcher, these big encompassing, large games where there's like tons of missions, and I don't do a lot of those. So when I say this is the best one ever, I haven't played the rest of them. So I don't know, to y'all that really get into these, I don't know. But for me, Cyberpunk 2077 has given me a gaming experience I've never had before. I'm fully enamored in this world. It even got me to watch the anime. So I was watching the anime same time as playing the game, and it's awesome. It's great. I have not started Phantom Liberty yet. I'm saving that for myself going into the new year. Still having a great time with Cyberpunk 2077. So much fun. And last, well, not last, we're going to explain this section here. And I know it's like you don't see anything laid out here for Nintendo, but we're going to talk about Nintendo. Now, this last game, you see it. This goes for all my systems, because I play this game everywhere, on everything, all the time. And this is my favorite game of all time, and collectively on all systems. I have played this game hundreds of hours. And you know, we talking about the big Fortnite. I can't even begin to talk about the many updates, the many improvements, the many events that this game has brought us. There's still some adults hating on this game, and I get it. You want to be cool. But this game has been busting for 5 years straight. I think there was maybe a 6-month stretch when Fortnite was kind of mad, but this game has been busting since the beginning. I have not slowed down. I'm still on it. The homies joined in. I don't know if they just joined in this year. I think my friends just joined in on Fortnite this year. So this is the first year I have my friends playing with me. So we had some great and fantastic moments on Fortnite, man. Fortnite made on all my systems. So Fortnite's kind of always going to forever be on my list of games that existed in my insert year here. Now, we still got a system here with no games listed in this space. Why is that? And that's because I got a special relationship with the Nintendo Switch. On my Nintendo Switch, I often go into the Nintendo store and I go in the sales section. And there are so many games that are $10 and under. I can't help myself. I've purchased so many cheap games, full games, for the Nintendo Switch that I cannot even begin to start putting game titles in here. I'm going to have to do a whole separate video on all the things I've played on the Switch this year. But a lot of it is within the virtual console, right? And that's Super Nintendo, that's Game Boy Advance, that's Genesis. A lot of my games are within that too. So that's why this area is left a little blank, fully blank, because I'm just gonna have to do a whole separate video on just the Switch section alone. Because I have to literally sit down and figure out all the games I acquired for the Switch this year. It's got to be I filled up 2 memory cards full of games. I have a ridiculous amount of Switch games. And I can't include it in here. And this video is already almost at an hour. So, yo, games that existed in my 2023. Let me know what games you played in the comments below. I never usually ask for stuff like that because I feel like people usually don't care, but I actually genuinely care. Put what you've been playing down in the comments. Put your suggestions down there. Let's chat it up. Let's start the conversation. Thanks for stopping through. Like, comment, subscribe. New album on the way. At the top of the year, Cozy and Confused. It'll be available everywhere. Thanks for stopping in. Peace.